for sure, one of the things I need to learn is just the patience of delayed gratification.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I everyone could probably relate to this in terms of you want to do the things that feel good now. You want to do the things that make you money now. You want to do the things that benefit you now. And at the end of the day, 9 times out of 10, those things are generally not the best for you.
80% of realtors don't make it past their first year. 90% don't make it past the second year. And from what I've seen, it boils down to their mindset in the process.
Yeah.
What is something that you're actively working on to help with that mindset shift?
One of the things that he said was seeing failure or seeing the roadblocks not as a brick wall, but seeing it as a road bump. And that's the exact mindset I had. So everything that I went through, every negative bank account that I had, I saw it all as bumps in the road, not a roadblock. And so I kept pursuing, kept networking, kept talking with people and just figuring it out. And ultimately, I ended up reaching 1 million subscribers on Rect, one of my main channels. But then also I was part of a network that had close to, I don't even know, 15 million, something like that. And so there was a drastic amount of subscribers in that base, but I never would have reached that goal if I didn't have it written down.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Rect. Today, we're doing the rubber band challenge. That was from 2012. We're gonna be putting these rubber bands over tons of different objects and see if we can destroy them. So our first object is Gunner's head. Wait.
I'm serving you ball.
Gunther! Oh, bro.
Oh! Oh my God!
Let's start winning, y'all.
Just keep spinning it!
Oh, I got a lot.
All right, let's make this an interview style. What's up, guys? This is Gunner. Update is I am married, so all of you need to stop swooning. And
Thank you for tuning in to the Mindset Podcast. Today we have Mr. Gunner, Joshua Gunner Gomez.
Yep.
So this is going to be a little bit of a time capsule video, one where we can look back and think about the beginning of the journey. This is pre-license phase.
Yeah.
Just started a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
So Gunnar, tell us a little bit about what's making you choose real estate and why now?
I think first, just my life has taken so many different drastic changes in the last year. I have a wife and I have 2 kids and 1 on the way. So naturally, I'm questioning things and trying to figure out how to provide for them, how to, just be a good dad, be a good husband. And so I think all of that has accumulated into this decision. But I mean, I did YouTube, which I'm sure maybe some people are watching this, they probably recognize me. But after I did YouTube, I've been an automotive technician for the last 6 years, and I've been honing my craft with that. And at a certain point, you realize that this is destroying your body, and that the hard labor is hard, and you're doing it in 120-degree heat and all the things. So when it comes down to what I want to do long term, to be able to have time with my family and my kids, and have the freedom to be able to make it to their baseball games when they start playing sports, and when they are doing all the activities, I want to be there for them. So I think real estate is really attractive to me because of that reason. And then, there's the ability to make a good amount of money, right? Yeah. But at the same time, there's the freedom is so much more attractive to me because of all of the reasons I had just stated. So I think that's the biggest thing. And then obviously meeting you, and we've known each other for how long now? 5 years? 4 or 5 years?
4 or 5 years.
I'm sure you guys know Mr. Tony Medina is a fantastic teacher, and he's one of those people that just lives his life with integrity. And, naturally I'm drawn to you to be my teacher and my mentor. So kind of all the stars are aligning, if you could say so. So it's a lot of things. It's a lot of things, but it's going to be cool, I think.
Amen. Well, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, Gunnar.
Yeah.
So tell the people a little bit about what's your goal the first year? What is it? We're doing this challenge, right? We're challenging Mr. Gunnar Gomez to hit his goal this year. Tell him what it is.
Yeah. Well, it's an ambitious goal, right? Monetarily, I think in the first year we could try and hit 150,000. That's the goal. Now, if we don't hit that, that's fine. But at the end of the day, I want to be able to look back on it and know that I tried my best and that I was striving every day and trying to live each day as its own.
Well, let's get rid of the try.
Yeah.
Let's do.
Yeah. Let's do it. How about that?
Let's manifest that into reality with
Yeah.
Lord willing.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
All right. So when you imagine success in real estate, like if you could look back and say, this has been a success 3 to 5 years from now, what would that look like?
Again, I think just a little bit more of life balance, being able to be there for my family and kids, freedom wise. And I think being able to just have this as my sole source of income for sure. Because right now I'm a man of many traits and man of many talents. And if I could hone in on that, that would be awesome. But I don't know. It's a good question. I think, dang, success. I think also it does have to do with, has to do with being able to provide some sort of value to people, right? Like I want to be able to say that I've given someone something that they were looking forward to, or something that they have wanted. I guess I don't know how to put it. It's taking some time.
What I hear you're
to,
saying is you want to make a difference in someone's life.
for sure.
You want to help them solve their problems, overcome their challenges, which, as you've seen already in the past few days, that's kind of what we do. We find people who are going through something in life, going through one of the biggest transitions of their lives, and we help them either move into their home, move into a new city, or cash out and move on to the next chapter of their lives.
Yeah.
So tell me this, what excites you most? Obviously, there's the time it gives you back with your family and a little bit of that freedom, but what is it that excites you most about being a real estate agent? And at the same time, what is it that concerns you most?
I think one of the things that, so my wife would make fun of me because she's a very calculated person. She's very organized. We call her a beaver because I'm sure you understand the personality traits.
Also
But
analytical. Yeah.
she's just very analytical. She's a little less risk taking, so she analyzes all of the risk before she takes it. I am the exact opposite. I will jump into it, like if there's a pool of sharks just circling and there is like something of value in the middle, I'll just jump in. I don't really like think about it. I don't think about how many sharks there are. I don't think about all of the risk involved. I just jump most of the time. So I think what excites me most about being a real estate agent, or being a realtor, real estate agent. I'll re-say that. What excites me most about that, I think, is the risk and the unknown, because that just that is something that I enjoy. I enjoy learning something new, and I enjoy the unknown, which sounds weird, but
most people would
thrive.
look at that as a concern.
Yeah, I thrive in those environments, right? Like, I definitely thrive in those environments. So in terms of what scares me the most is obviously the fact that I have 2 kids and one on the way, and a wife, to provide for and feed. And I think that's mainly the only thing that is really concerning to me. So, yeah.
So, all right, tell me this. What personally, like, I'm sure you've done a lot of this work mentally, as most of us do when we're getting into something new. What is it personally that you're willing to sacrifice, or you feel like you're going to or have to sacrifice in the short term to build a long-term career?
It's a great question. Shoot, man, you should have let me in on these questions beforehand. This guy's got good questions. Wow. I mean, naturally, right? It's because I've never been commissioned. I've always worked really hard for my money, and I've always I've always been in that mindset. So I think one of the things that I have to let go of or sacrifice is the idea that I'm trading my time for an hourly rate, right? And letting go of if I'm working, if I work 8 hours and there's no immediate benefit, that I'm not useless or like not helping my family in any way. There's just like a weird dynamic, weird. I don't know if it's the American dream or if it's like the American way of just work more hours, work 60, work 70, work harder to make more money.
Yeah.
I have to let go of that whole paradigm, the way you see the world, the way you see the workforce, the way you see America. Um, it's just weird in sales. I don't know. Don't know how to describe it. It just is. It's weird.
Yeah. There's a great book that I read early on that helped me. Have you ever heard of Robert Kiyosaki? There's a great book he has. It's called Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Oh yeah, I've heard of the book.
You've heard of
I
the
didn't
book?
know who wrote it, but yeah.
Yeah. And in the book, he talks about how most of us, his poor dad had this, you work per hour. There's 4 quadrants. You're an employee, you're a small business owner, you're a big business owner, you're an investor. These are 4 different quadrants of making money. And most people, like his poor dad, had this work hard, more hour philosophy, and it was the employee mindset. His rich dad had this investor, big business owner mindset.
Yeah.
And the whole book pretty much just kind of outlines that transition from one to the other. And it is difficult. So, and it's kind of one of the reasons that I started doing, this podcast and these talks was shifting the mindset, because I come across 80% of realtors don't make it past their first year, 90% don't make it past the second year. And from what I've seen, it boils down to their mindset in the process.
Yeah.
Most of them are afraid. Most of them have this difficulty making the mindset shift. So what has helped you, or what is something that you're actively working on to help with that mindset shift?
I mean, I don't know necessarily if I haven't fully subscribed. I've always been kind of half foot in, half foot out in exactly what I was talking about, the American idea of the workforce and everything. So I've always had this entrepreneurial heart. I've always had this entrepreneurial mindset, but just haven't known how to bridge that gap to fully step into that. And so I think up to this point, I've worked for myself in a lot of ways, but not usually it's not fully. So like I've done YouTube professionally. I've started little businesses here and there, selling on eBay, reselling stuff, like doing all of the like hard hustle stuff that you do at the very beginning just to get your foot in the door. And so I think my brain has always wanted to shift to that, wanted to fully go in, but there has been some sort of block. And I mean, I could say it was the Lord, because it's one of those things where I think he's going to reveal that to me and be able to allow me to step into that when necessary. And I think that may have happened in the last like month to 2 months, I think,
Yeah, let's unpack that a little bit, because you were sharing some of the God shots, the God winks, the ways that you've seen God's hands moving in your life over the last few months.
Yeah.
Unpack that a little bit for us.
Oh dear. It's been chaotic, to say the least. Yeah. So, I mean, oh man, where do I begin? So in the last like, I don't know, 2 or 3 months, let me actually go back farther than that. My wife and I have been wanting to move from Vegas because she really doesn't like Vegas. She actually kind of loathes it, to be honest with you. She just doesn't like it. She doesn't like the desert. She loves trees. She's a Pacific Northwest type of girl. She loves Washington and Oregon and just all the places up there, right? And so, yeah. And so we've been wanting to move to Idaho, which still might happen. We just don't know when. But all of that kind of came to a head because right now we were trying to figure out how to get there, and every door is just closing in our face. Like we, looking for jobs. I got declined by a couple jobs out there that I was really looking forward to, and finances are just not looking the way we want them to right now. It's been a hard pill to swallow, and so when that all got closed, and then I had 3 sources of income coming in the last like 2 months, and all of those basically got cut off on the same day, dude. Same day from like a 10 o'clock period to 1 p.m. I had 3 text messages come in to shut all of those down, and so I've been thinking about getting into real estate for a while. Even before I originally texted you that, like, what, 6 months ago. I was thinking about it even before then, probably even year and a half to 2 years. And then when I texted you and I'm like, hey, I'm thinking about real estate. And you're like, okay, well, this is how it looks and this is what you got to do and all the things. And still, even in that moment, I didn't want to take the risk. But then, when everything gets shut down, God's like, okay, I'm going to force you to take some sort of risk here. So you got to figure it out because he's shutting those doors. He's causing you to, I don't know what the term was that we used before, but when he shuts all those, he's causing you to stop, reflect, and then shift or pivot. And that's pretty much what happened this last month. So it's a lot. And I'm stepping into real estate because I think that is just a new leaf to turn. And I think that I'll really enjoy it. And I guess we'll see if this time capsule is successful. I'll look back in 2 years and look at myself now and see, hey, like, you did make the right decision, and hopefully it benefited you in all of the ways that I'm hoping, but also ultimately with my faith and trust in God, because this profession definitely requires a lot of trust.
Yeah.
So
fast forward a little bit. Let's say you hit your goal, 150,000. I mean, what would that do for you and your family?
oh my gosh, I think obviously financially we would just be in a much better position than we are right now, and I've never been the type that's been super selfish with my finances. I think we'd be able to give more. We'd be able to bless other people with just whatever they need, and at the end of the day, we'd still know that we're able to go home and have food on the table, and all the basics, necessities. I'm not trying to be over here driving a Lamborghini. I just just want to be able to provide for them. So
maybe in 10 to 20 years.
Maybe we'll see.
Shifting a little bit, what skills do you believe you already bring into this business, and what skills do you know that you need to develop?
I think I'm a talker. Like I'm not one of those people that will talk for 20 minutes without letting you get a word in. So I think I have that balance, and I listen and I communicate well. The problem is that I don't know when the selling starts, and I don't know when. I guess it's more so the script aspect, because, and if I'm being completely honest, part of me is like, oh, I could sell better without a script, because I'm better at talking, right? Than I think. Well, I probably think I'm better at talking than I really am. But I see I'm babbling now. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things. Yeah, right. I need a script now. Where's that script? Where's my script? You're supposed to bring that, Tony.
Well, while you think about that, I'll just kind of highlight something that really helped me kind of wrap my head around that. One of my coaches earlier on told me, he asked me, he said, Tony, what is the best possible close you can have on a presentation? What is the best possible close? I give some answer, and we went back and forth. The best, and what he told me was, the best possible close you can have on a presentation is a natural ending to an amazing presentation.
Oh,
That is the best possible close in a sales conversation, is a natural ending to an amazing presentation. How can you have an amazing presentation without it being scripted?
No, but
No,
now
so
that does make sense.
but what he highlighted was, if you ever go see like a John Lennon or a just any one of these highly paid performances on the strip, you'll notice that they all have scripts. They all have, like, the best of the comedians all have their scripted jokes. They have their note cards on the stage, and they'll go and they know exactly where to go because it's a play, it's a performance. And I think that's kind of the hardest part as being a real estate agent is we're there to perform. Yes, we're there to bring compassion and empathy, but the reality is most people want us to be the realtor that they want us to be, and it's not about us. It's about them. And there is a process. It's a can presentation, it's a can process, so that way we get all the problems and all the things laid out on the table that are important. Kind of like when you go to the doctor's office. You go to the doctor's office, they have a script. You come in, they take your vitals, they take all your measurements. This doctor comes in, he's got a checklist of things,
Yeah.
and then he goes into a conversation with you. And the best of doctors will sit there and ask more questions. So the greatest communicators, and I found the greatest value, and this is just my personal belief, the greatest value that we can bring to our clients is in the quality of the questions that we ask them.
Mm.
So if we take a look at this script and we obsess about it and we think, how can I take these questions and make them better?
Mm.
Apply them to the individual and discern which questions really make sense and which ones don't. And how do I double click on a question? How do I take this one question and not just accept a surface level answer, but
Yeah.
dig deeper? And that's a lot of the things you don't find on the scripts.
Yeah.
That's really just the surface. It's up
Yeah.
to us to improve our communication skills and dig deeper beyond the surface. But going back to the original question, so you said the skills that you bring is that you're a great communicator, and what is it that you feel like you need to know, or what skills to develop to?
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess that goes back to the selling.
Yeah.
It's just
How do I sell?
yeah. How do I sell? No, I mean, just working on the scripts, and I think if I'm going into like character flaws,
Mm.
for sure, one of the things I need to learn is just the patience of delayed gratification.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I everyone could probably
Yeah.
relate to this in terms of you want to do the things that feel good now. You want to
Yeah.
do the things that make you money now. You want to do the things that benefit you now. And at the end of the day, 9 times out of 10, those things are generally not the best for you,
Yeah.
right? If it goes back to those videos where there's millions, not millions. There's probably hundreds of YouTube videos out there of the little toddler sitting at the table, and he's got an Oreo in front of him, and the Oreo is sitting there, and they're like, "Hey, if you don't eat that Oreo, 5 minutes goes by, I'll give you 2 Oreos."
Oh.
And that toddler, some of them will look at the Oreo, they'll, maybe even smell it, pick it up, like lick it, and just like, oh, put it back. And then 5 minutes come back, and you got 2 Oreos. Delayed gratification.
Yeah.
Delayed, the delayed pleasure, because you're patient and you're learning that discipline of waiting, right? But some people will eat that Oreo, and you're missing out on a whole other Oreo,
Yeah.
right? And what person doesn't want a whole other Oreo? That's my basic breakdown. So, anyways, the gratification
Yeah.
for sure. I definitely need that discipline in my life of being patient and just waiting and putting in the work now to be able to benefit later. Which again, biblical theme
Yeah.
principle is you reap what you sow, right?
Yeah.
You want to put those seeds into the ground now so that you can reap the harvest later. And so, yeah, that's probably going to be the hardest one for me, if I'm being honest.
So making that mindset shift
Yeah.
into the delayed gratification. And you're right.
Yeah.
It is most people. I mean, we all wrestle with that. I forgot who the author was who originally came up with this, but I know Jim Rohn says it all the time. For the good things in life, you pay later. For the bad things in life, you pay immediately. Meaning, if you want a good body, that's a good thing. You're gonna have to pay for it now, and you get it later.
Yep.
If you want
So
the
true.
instant gratification of the feeling you get when you eat the Oreo cookie,
Yeah.
you're gonna get it now, but you're gonna pay later.
Yeah. My dad bod says that is true.
Oh.
Absolutely.
What goes on in your head, and what story do you tell yourself when things get hard, and how do you reset your mindset when your motivation drops?
Well, one, I go back to the basic principle that I am loved, I guess, because at the end of the day, I think men kind of have this idea that they're as valuable as their output, or they're as valuable as how much hard work they do. And sometimes people are out of work. Sometimes people have circumstances that keep them from that, and to tie your value to it. And you see it with professional sports, you see it with just high level professional anything, right? Is as soon as they lose basketball, professional basketball player, they lose their identity, they lose their value. It's like, that's just a terrible way to live. It's a horrible way to live, because as soon as you lose that thing, your whole identity goes with it. And so I think that I I think, dude, I am doing terrible right now. I got like losing my train of thought.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Cut what you want out of that, I guess. I think one of the things I tell myself though is that it really isn't that bad, and that seems like a very basic thought, but in reality, at least in America, I can't really speak about other countries, but in America, we have it pretty dang easy, and we have it pretty dang good. I think about foreign countries. I think about the stuff that's going on. I think about wars. Think about persecution for different people groups, whether it's different races or different belief systems being targeted and being harassed or even killed, for different things. And at the end of the day, also in America, we're literally, I think we're if we make more than 20,000, 25, don't quote me on this. It's generally in the park, but 25,000, if we make more than that a year, you're in like the top 5% of the world in terms of the richest person on the planet. So I think, as bad as it does get sometimes in my brain, my external reality really isn't that bad. So I try to remind myself of that. And then, I think reading the Bible and doing the basics of just taking care of yourself really help also. So, make sure you brush your teeth every day. You're laughing and it sounds funny, but it's real, right? Like, how bad do you feel? I'm looking at you too. How bad do you feel when you don't brush your teeth for 3 days? You kind of feel bad about yourself, So just brush your teeth.
That's funny.
It's the basics.
Just the basics. Get back to the basics. I mean, what I hear out of that is I found it to be true, and that's amazing. You go back to your gratitude list, the things that God has already done for you, where He's proven Himself to be faithful, and how abundantly blessed you really are. So that's awesome. That's one way that you're resetting your mindset when your motivation gets low.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely take it really hard because I hate being bad at things. I really do. I hate being bad at things. And to the point where sometimes I will actually, in certain ways I'll quit because I don't like if I'm not good at something almost immediately, my first inclination is to quit and just be, and just give up. But at the end of the day, I do think it is a learning lesson. I think that I've enjoyed every failure that I've had to a certain extent, whether it's in mechanics or YouTube, because I've had some failures in YouTube as well. They've all been learning lessons, and honestly, I could not and would not change it for the world. I've learned a lot of things in multiple different markets, multiple different trades, and I'm definitely a better person for it. So, yeah.
Just curious, when you were growing up, did your parents always tell you how talented you were? Like, did you hear that a lot growing up? Like, you're so talented, you're so gifted.
No,
No?
no.
Okay.
Why?
I was just wondering because like my mom used to say that a lot, and
Oh,
I'm the
really?
same way where like if something was
Interesting.
really difficult for me, I'd be like, "Oh, this is just not for me," because I'm just so naturally like if it was for me, I'd be great at it. So I'm just going to move on to the
That's
next
a
thing.
that's an interesting observation. Probably a mindset I just pushed on myself.
Mm.
I mean, just from
You would look in the mirror. You're so talented.
that's-
You're amazing. You're a hunk. You're a
no,
stud.
not necessarily. I don't know, man. It's not necessarily that. I think I was actually definitely. I mean, growing up and even now I've I've leaned more towards a negative mindset, negative self esteem.
Mm.
So being where I am now, it's all been the product of hyping myself up, like you're saying, or just being hopeful and being positive. But I definitely didn't lean towards that, and I don't know where that comes from either.
Yeah, it's interesting. We had a guy on one of the Mr. Juan wrote us a couple weeks ago. And he said his mantra in his head is "Don't be soft." He'd always say to himself, "Don't be soft. Stop
Yeah.
being soft."
Yeah,
And the guy went on to build a multi-million-dollar company.
yeah,
But one of the reasons I bring up failure is because this is often what I've seen is the differentiator between those that make it and those that don't.
Yeah.
It is how they interpret failure. John Maxwell has a book, one of my favorite books is called Failing Forward. And in the book, he goes in and he interviews the top 500 CEOs and he interviews all of them. And the number one common trait that they all had was how they interpreted failure.
yeah,
They all looked at failure as a stepping stone. So, like, I've had to adopt this philosophy where it's you either win or you learn. There is no such thing as a failure.
yeah,
So in every presentation you have, in every interaction with a client you have the presentation that goes on in your head on the way there, the one you actually have, and the one you wish you had had later.
Mm.
So going back and learning from your mistakes is what helps us continue to improve, especially in this business. So I hope that's something that you carry with you moving forward. Do you see real estate as a short-term opportunity or a long-term craft?
I think I see the sales. I see sales as a long-term craft. I see real estate as not necessarily short-term, but I do see it more as like a category of that craft.
Mm.
If that makes sense.
Why is that?
Because like kind of even our conversations before, right? Like sales and the idea of being able to just pick up a phone book or like call people and have conversations or network or do all the things. That's something that you can take anywhere.
Yeah.
That's something that you can take, into any job, any workplace and thrive. But real estate, I mean, I personally want to do it for probably the rest of my life, be honest with you, as well as social media and a bunch
Please
of
be
other
honest.
things. But
Please be honest.
please be honest. That is being honest.
Yeah, you said I'm being honest with you.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm being honest, bro. Relax. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I mean, I do see it as something that I'm gonna do long term, but yeah, I don't really put a time frame on it. I just think that it's just a category of sales.
Yeah. If things didn't go for you as planned,
They will. Just kidding.
in 6, yeah, that's the attitude. I love
That's
it.
the attitude. Let's go, man.
But let's say 3 to 6 months go by
Yeah.
and it's not going for you as planned.
Mhm.
What will keep you from quitting?
Just having my goals set. I think that would definitely keep me motivated. Because at the end of the day, I'm only going to quit if I feel like there's no hope or I feel like there's no reason to continue, right? So, and to combat that, there's goals set in place generally that I can strive for and reach for. So, one of the things that I feel like I should tell this story kind of, but so when I was doing YouTube, right, I was back in the, I don't know, it feels like a different world to be honest. And I swear, if any of my fans see this, they'll
going up on your
they'll
page.
know exactly what I'm talking about. But it was like in 2016 to 2019, or like 2015, 2019 to 2020, something like that. But anyway, so I had just moved out to California, just freshly like just out there with $500 to my name, moving to California. Yeah, got a little 1-bedroom apartment in North Hollywood, Los Angeles, with a roommate that I barely knew. And when I started doing YouTube, I had a big old vision board, massive. Like if you go to Home Depot and you see those whiteboards that they sell, they're like basic whiteboards. They have no trim, they have no nothing, and it's like an 8 foot by 4 foot, so it's massive, right? I bought one of those and nailed it onto my wall. And my at the time I was a little bit more selfish, no kids, no wife, anything, but I wrote on there 1 million subscribers, right? And that was the goal. I didn't care how I got to it, didn't care what it took, 1 million subscribers. And at the time I had been doing YouTube for a little while. And so from there, I started to flesh out everything. Started to flesh out, okay, what does it look like? What are the channel ideas? What are the video ideas? What are the ways to help get to that goal, right? And to be honest, like for most people, 1 million subscribers seems probably unattainable, probably seems impossible, right? But if I didn't have this vision board, if I didn't have the goals set and it all fleshed out, I probably would have quit a long time ago, because it did take me a while. But ultimately, when I pursued, and I think it was on the podcast that you had sent me probably yesterday with the Sirhan guy, which he seems awesome. But one of the things that he said was seeing failure or seeing the roadblocks not as a brick wall, but seeing it as a road bump. And that's the exact mindset I had. So everything that I went through, every negative bank account that I had, I saw it all as bumps in the road, not a roadblock. And so I kept pursuing, kept networking, kept, talking with people and just figuring it out. And ultimately I ended up reaching 1 million subscribers on Rect, one of my main channels. But then also I was part of a network that had close to, I don't even know, 15 million, something like that. And so there was a drastic amount of subscribers in that base, but it never would have happened. And I never would have reached that goal if I didn't have it written down. So, I mean, real estate, same thing. Just write down the goals, man. Just write them down and continue to pursue and see what happens. And I think I actually have a lot more motivation now than I did even back then, right? Because I was doing it all for myself. I was doing it all selfishly because I wanted, the money, the fame, the cars, the whatever, came with it. I think God humbled me, which is a whole separate story, right? I could talk for hours, but ultimately I was doing it for selfish purposes. Now it's completely, there's still obviously some selfish aspects to it, but mainly I just, care about my family, care about my kids, and I want to help as many people as possible, which, got to figure out what that looks like too. So, yeah.
Your why is a lot stronger now.
Huh?
Your why is a lot stronger now.
My why? Yeah. 100%. Yeah. Finding your why.
So last question.
Yeah.
At the end of your career, when you look back, what do you want people to say about how you did business?
Oh my gosh, dude. Probably, I think the biggest thing would just be relentless and full of integrity. I think those would probably be the two things without like really thinking of one word descriptions, but naturally doing it in a way that doesn't screw people over because, I heard a quote, I don't know how long ago, but they said it's taking longer for you because you're doing it with integrity, right? Like I could go out on the streets and hustle and like do, illegal things to make money. That's not in my character, and it's not the way I want to do things, not the way I want to be remembered. So I think full of integrity, and at the end of the day, I want to think more about other people than I want to think about myself. And one last thing, this is the last note, is eventually my goal with my finances is to get to the point where I give away more than I spend on myself. and it's a radical goal, and especially in America, like it's kind of crazy to think about. But like if I have, just a basic number, right? If I have $10,000 coming in a month, I want to be able to spend $5,001 on someone else and spend 4,999 on myself and my family. Like that would be the goal, I think.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I forgot who the famous philanthropist. I remember it was John Maxwell, or I forgot who it was, but he said he spent the first half of his life making money so he could spend the second half of his life just giving it away.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Yeah.
So, any final thoughts? Anything you
No.
want to say to your people, say to your fans?
If you guys are seeing this, you guys are diehards for sure, and I appreciate all of you. There will be more content coming, especially because now we have access to a studio. I think that it's going to be fun. We'll make some pretty cool content, both for your channel as well as my channel, and this is the beginning. So it's been a long time coming. Because to put it in perspective, I stopped doing YouTube in 2020, so it's been 5 years, and I had 160,000 people asking where the heck I was for 5 years. Actually, probably more than that. Probably 700,000 with Wrecked. So this is probably going to, somewhat come to a shock if any of them see it. But I know some will if you use my name in the title. So we'll see what
He's
happens.
back, baby.
Yeah, it should be weird. Should be.
So I would say this:
so.
we're definitely gonna collaborate on content, but please comment anything that you want to see, any content you guys want to see, behind the scenes footage. I know the walkthroughs and the videos and those kinds of things can get a little too specific to certain demographics, but what is it that you guys want to see? Do you want to see Gunner prospecting? Do you guys want to see us in role play?
Dear.
Do you want to see
yeah
comment below, and thank you guys for watching with us this far, and stay tuned to see what amazing things are on the horizon. So
subscribe,
Mr. Gunner Gomez. Before we go, where can they find your channel and information?
The link to my channel will be in the description below, and feel free to go check it out, and that'll have all my social media and everything on it as well. So.
All right.